I got my first job offer last year and it was 12 lakh CTC. और मैंने सोचा 12 lakh CTC मतलब 1 lakh per month. I was already planning trips and thinking अब तो महीने के 50,000 भी बचा सकती हूँ. Then my first salary hit the account, 78,000 rupees. I was sitting there like, where's my remaining 22,000? Turns out I read my salary slip wrong. A mistake most of us make because salary slips look something like this. And we have no idea what most of these terms mean. Welcome to Stack. I'm Vanshika, your finance bestie. And I'm here to make sure your finances are all stacked in order. Right from your 20s. So hit subscribe now. आज मैं आपको एक simple way में बताऊंगी what these terms actually mean so you don't make the same mistakes that I made while accepting my first offer letter. Plus, I'll also give you some hacks on how to negotiate for a better salary. Okay, firstly, what is a CTC? CTC actually stands for cost to company. It's what it costs your company to keep you, not what you get. And this includes everything: your in-hand salary, health insurance premium, even the AC you're using in office as a part of your allowance. Basically, if the company spends it because of you, it's technically part of your CTC. Your CTC and actual in-hand salary differ dramatically. So where does the rest disappear? Let me show you. First comes your fixed pay, which is basically your guaranteed money. And this is important because everything else is calculated from this number: your bonuses, your PF, and your tax. Now this also has three parts. First, you have basic pay. This is usually 50% of your CTC. Second comes HRA, which is just short for house rent allowance and is usually 40 to 50% of your basic salary. Then third are other allowances like travel, food, and internet. But most companies ask you for the bills before they pay you that money. अब आता है आपके salary का variable pay section. I call this maybe money. This includes performance bonuses and incentives. Companies include 10 to 30% of your package as variable, but the catch is it's tied to yours and company's performance. So if you were a star performer, but the company had a bad quarter, you might only get 10% of that variable pay, or sometimes nothing at all. Moving on to the next one, I call this delayed money. In this, we have your PF contribution. That's usually 12% of your basic pay. This goes directly into your retirement fund, aka Employee Provident Fund. You won't see this money immediately. Then there's gratuity, which you usually only get after you spend 5 years with your company. These items just sit there on your offer letter, inflating your CTC. Companies use so many other tricks to achieve this. Just look at this article of a Bangalore man who lost 40% of his salary because it was linked to key performance indicators that could change every single month. Now let's discover other ways your company can fool you with an inflated CTC. First is the one-time bonus trap. You get a 12 lakh CTC and it sounds amazing, but then you find out that 2 lakh is a joining bonus, and year 2 onwards, your CTC is actually 10 lakhs. Your company just forgot to mention that part. Second is what I call the ESOP fantasy, and startups love this one. They'll say 25 lakhs CTC, but 15 lakhs of that is in stock options. These only have values if the company goes public and your vesting period is complete. If the startup falls, those stocks are worth literally zero. Finally, let's jump to the next part, the negotiation game. Okay, so now you know how to read your offer letter, but here's where I messed up big time. I never negotiated because I thought it was greedy, and I thought freshers can't negotiate. I thought I'd lose the offer if I asked for more, but I was wrong. Here's a stat that changed my entire perspective. 78% of people who negotiated their starting salary got a better offer. So in other words, most people who just asked got more, and most of them follow these 3 rules. Here's rule 1. Do your research thoroughly and go in well prepared. Before quoting a salary figure, you should be knowing 2 things: your own expenses and market standards. First, pull up a Google sheet and make a breakdown of all your basic costs, such as monthly rent, food, utilities, transportation, internet, and subscriptions. As a rule of thumb, it's best to quote 10 to 20% higher than your standard of living so that you can be prepared for any unexpected purchases or emergency bills like doctor visits, which hopefully you won't ever have to bear. Secondly, you should be knowing what the usual salary ranges are as per factors like industry, your department and designation, size of company you're joining, the workload and responsibility you'll handle, and your educational qualifications. Nowadays, it's very easy to find out salaries through websites like Glassdoor, Indeed, LinkedIn Salaries, and subreddits like Indian Workplace. Here's rule 2. Salary negotiations mein you should always be the first to quote your expected figure. Par kyun? Because it's basic human psychology. The one who quotes the number first sets the tone, called the anchor. And this anchor is what decides kaun ye negotiation jeetega. For the recruiter or HR guy in front of you, they will always quote less to save their company money. But from your end, you should be quoting the highest realistic number because, as I said earlier, it leaves you room to come down if needed. If they quote 4 lakhs, the most you can push them to raise it is 4.5 lakhs. But if you start with 6 lakhs, you can come down to 5 and walk away with more. It's that easy. And here's rule 3. Don't just get stuck on the salary. You can negotiate other things around it too. Even if the CTC can't change, you can ask for other perks like more leaves, work from home flexibility, and special allowances for daily needs like fuel, etc. As someone who now has friends in HR, let me spill the big secret in one simple line. There's always room to negotiate. So always ask for more because if you don't, you won't get it. In short, next time you get an offer letter, read the breakup. Do the math. Negotiate with data and take your time before signing. Now we've told you how to crack your big dream salary. But if you want to learn how to invest it, do go and watch this related video that we made recently to guide you on all the investing options out there. It's all you need to start investing in your 20s. And if this video gave you a fresh perspective and made you think, then hit the subscribe button. We're out here talking about saving and growing your hard-earned money. No BS, no agenda, just knowledge that helps you. See you in the next one. Stay smart out there.